Every year, 5,000 foster youth across California age out of the system. Too often, many have no support as they learn to become adults. But that's about to change thanks to a new law in California. Because we know 18 is just far too young for most youth to be without support and on their own. Here's a look at the living arrangements available to eligible youth under the new law.
When I left foster care, I didn't have a permanent place to stay. I slept on friends' couches for a while, but that didn't last long. I ended up homeless, sleeping in parks and in fields. I realize now that I lack the basic fundamental skills that a person needs to have in order to function in society. That's why this new law in California is so important for foster youth. It helps you find a place to live and gives youth options to choose from so you can have a stable living situation and get on with your goals in your life, like finding a job or going to school.
I've heard I have different living options under this new law. Where can I stay? Do I have to stay in the same place I was living when I was in foster care before I turned 18?
Young adults have to live in an approved living situation. It could be where you're staying now, or you may be eligible to live somewhere else, such as a dorm room. You'll want to talk to your social worker, probation officer, or attorney to find out what options are available and what might be the best living arrangement for you.
What if I've been living in a group home? How does this new law affect my group home arrangement?
Under the law, a young adult may be able to remain in a group home after turning 18 and up to the age 19 to give you some stability while you finish high school. Once you turn 19, you and your social worker, probation officer, or attorney will need to work on finding a new place for you to live. The exception is if you have a medical condition. Then you may be able to stay in a group home once you turn 19. The goal is to find permanent, stable living situations. Group homes are intended to be a short-term option.
I've heard a little bit about a new option for finding a place to live. I think it's called SILP. What's that all about and how is it different?
A new housing option called SILP is available. SILP stands for Supervised Independent Living Placement. It gives young adults still in care who are ready to live on their own the option to possibly live in an apartment, college dorm, or other living arrangements, such as renting a room.
I would like to try living on my own and being independent. What do I have to do to make that happen?
If a youth feels ready to live on their own, he or she must talk with a social worker or probation officer about living in a SILP. They will talk with you about if you are ready to live on your own. They need to make sure you know how to budget your money for rent, groceries, and other expenses. They will also want to make sure you know how to prepare your own meals and what to do in case of emergencies.
Can I pick my own apartment?
Youth can choose their own living arrangements, but it does have to be approved before you move in. This means making sure it's safe. There is a short list of health and safety standards that your apartment or room must meet, like having running water or heat.
Under SILP, what does it mean that the money comes directly to me?
Under the SILP option, you may directly receive the money to pay for the dorm or apartment. You and your social worker or probation officer will decide if you are ready to receive a foster care payment yourself, or they will have it go directly to your landlord so you don't have to worry about being late on your rent payments. If you receive the money directly, it will be documented on your transitional independent living plan.
What if I've been living in one county, but now I want to move to another to find a job? I've even been thinking about going to school in a different state. Can I still get help with finding a place to live and other support until I'm 20?
If a young adult wants to move to another part of California or another state, it's possible to still qualify to receive help finding a place to live, enrolling in college, or finding a job.
How should I get started in finding a place to live? Should I start looking online or visit an apartment?
To get started on seeing what living options are available, foster youth should first talk to their social worker, probation officer, or attorney and let them know how you want more information about how to find a place to live. And there are responsibilities on your part to make sure you stay eligible for housing support.
Finding somewhere to live is an important part of the choices I'm making about my future.